Okay, we are live on YouTube now. Okay, we are live on YouTube now.
Bottom of the hour, 4:30 here on the Now Tampa Bay. We continue to follow the arresting case against the alleged Seminole Heights serial killer. He's in jail, no bond right now, and will make a first court appearance before a judge tomorrow morning. I want to head right back out live to my co-anchor Laura Harris with some information about where the suspect bought his gun. Laura, what do you know?
And Ashley, he apparently bought that gun at a Shooter's World in Tampa. We went and talked to the manager at that Shooter's World today. He says that person got the gun legally. He was a one-time customer and he never came back to go to the gun range. So that's information that we're getting from Shooter's World, where this suspect apparently bought that weapon. Now I want to go to my colleague Eric Waxler, who's at Alonzo High School right now, where Howell Donaldson graduated. Eric?
Yeah, Laura, here at Alonzo, no officials that knew Donaldson or here at the time wanted to talk to us. They all had no comment, not the principal, not the basketball coach. Meanwhile, nearby at the family home, the people there, they just can't believe that a suspected serial killer grew up in their neighborhood.
Wow, I knew that face looked a little familiar on the news.
It's unclear when Howell Donaldson, known as Trey, last lived in this home with his parents and siblings, but neighbors just can't believe he's a killer.
Just to know that he lived right here, he could have did the same thing in his own neighborhood. Scary.
I think it's a terrible mistake. My brain won't compute that.
Sylvia Fernandez lives right next door. She didn't want us to show her face, but says she's known the family for 15 years.
They've been wonderful neighbors. I couldn't ask for better neighbors. I've told Hal more than once, you're the best neighbors we've ever had.
Donaldson played guard on the Alonzo High School basketball team, graduating in 2011. Then he went to college in New York City at St. John's University, where he walked on their team, but never got in a game. The school confirms he graduated in January. Meanwhile, there's a hoop and a ball outside the family home where no one answered this morning, and neighbors are left wondering what could have motivated a young man down such a dark path.
Very shocking and scary, you know. I just can't believe this. Wow.
Yeah, and the neighbors tell us that Donaldson's father was such a caring man in their community. He would look after the older folks and actually helped one of the neighbors, a woman, put up her hurricane shutters just recently. Live in Town and Country, Eric Waxler for the Now Tampa Bay.
So guys, what do you think about the video?
Well, it's scary. You have a neighbor, a good neighbor for so many years, and you don't suspect of that. It's it's disturbing.
Okay, so now I'm going to send the questions on the chat and then we can start the conversation, okay? Just a second. Can you guys see the questions?
Yes.
Okay, so see you in 40 minutes.
See ya.
Okay, guys, can you see the questions?
Yes.
What happened?
I just moved the rooms. Okay, you are here. Okay. So, um, the first question is, do you know any serial killer story next to you, like in your city, in your state? Camille?
Hi, no, I haven't met with any serial killers recently. I believe I only in movies. I never saw.
And you, Danielle?
No, me neither. Thank God. I don't know any serial killer around me or have never heard a story about that. Like Emily said, only in movies or TV shows and games for
Yeah.
now.
And you, Ana Flávia?
I don't know, and I expect that don't uh, exist a serial killer next me.
Yeah, but who knows, right?
Yeah.
And you, Felipe?
Yes, actually, I have to say the same. I haven't met any serial killers in my life, but there is a book, famous book, that says the serial killer lives is your neighbor, and it's a bestseller. It was written by a Brazilian writer, and this, yes, I feel so lucky, but that I only have met serial killers in movies or TV series, and especially United States.
Yes. Well, I didn't see any of them, but in the city I was born, which is called Garanhões, um, three persons like old man and an old lady and a young woman. They killed like a few women and they cooked their meat and sell like coxinhas and empadinhas with human meat. It was crazy, and like my city was on the news all of the world, like NBC Spain. It was really crazy. There is also a book about this thing.
God, I don't remember this story, but you said Garanhuns
Yes,
in Pernambuco.
yes,
Okay.
you can Google it. So the next question: can you distinguish a bad person and a good person, Danielle?
No, I don't think so. I don't believe exactly in bad and good people. I believe everyone is bad or good in some spectrum. Um, I don't think the world is just like so um, so um, you have to be a good or a bad person. So I don't really know how to distinguish it. So I don't believe in it actually.
Yes, it's pretty hard, As you said, we are like bad and good at the same time. It depends on the situation, a lot of things.
Yeah.
And you, Camille?
I believe not. You can distinguish just by looking in their faces, just by meeting quickly. It's not a quickly decision like to know if the person is good or bad.
Yes, you're right. Um, and do you wanna, Flavia?
I can't. I think we distinguish a bad person or a good person with her actions and pensamentos. I forgot the word.
Thoughts?
Thoughts. Yeah, but I can't string
Yes, it's very hard. And you, Felipe?
Yes, exactly. As everybody said, unfortunately, I don't have this superpower. Yes, to distinguish a person if it's a bad person or if it's a good person, because actually depend on their actions. But at the same time, we don't know this person exactly, right? So it's complicated to trust. And yes, so yes, we live in a society that there are many types of personalities. So many types of behavior. So it's we live in a place that people are different, right? Everybody's unique, and depending on their circumstance, they behave in a different way, or they behave in this situation the way you expect.
Yeah, it's a good point. Next question. What makes a serial killer? Serial killers are born or made? Are serial killers a product of nature or because of the environment? Emily?
I believe person doesn't get born serial killer. It became a serial killer. Besides all the facts of the way he's raised up, some circumstances in their lives. There is a movie who explained that. It's called We Need to Talk About Kevin. It's a good movie
Yes.
and it's really important. We discuss with our families what is going through in our heads because it can happen in the United States. It's not common to see young people becoming serial killers, but it can happen. We need to discuss about.
Yes. And do you think there are more serial killers in the US or there like we can see more in the news?
I believe we can see more. It's more alarming on the United States, but in Brazil we have too.
Yes. And you, Daniel?
Um, I I don't know. I have never studied this topic before, but I would say it can be a product of both nature and nurture. But I believe mostly it's the environmental factors uh, that affect our personalities and might develop these ills. I don't know. I don't know if it's a ill or anything. Um, anyway, I guess the environmental factors are mostly affect the most our personalities.
Yes, I agree with you. And you, Ana Flavia?
I agree with Danielle, and I think that anyone born a serial killer, and maybe this person ah, é, se torna, I forgot, a bad person with the life that the person lives. I don't know, the situation that the person ah, se encontra, uma situação que as pessoas se encontram. I don't know.
And you, Felipe, what's your opinion?
Yes, I don't know so much about this topic as well, but I believe, I hope actually, I prefer to believe that the serial killers, they're not born this way. They're made this way because of the society, because of bullying. Normally, there was some case in the United States that was specifically because of bullying that they they become serial killers, and especially when you're talking about kids killing other kids. So, in my opinion, a kid doesn't have this behavior, right? Or like even like to have this courage to kill another kid. It's so hard to believe in that. But at the same time, I believe that there are some people that they have a difficult personality, and this personality makes them actually speak louder. So in their actions, this personality makes them become what they shouldn't become. I believe in some way. I think that there are complex people, yes, to study the mind of people, to understand that why even people that they have the greatest family ever, so they have structure, they have good education, like this man, he studied in a school, so he graduated, even though he he chose to become a serial killer.
And you, Camille?
I already answered this question, I guess.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so as Philip said, and you guys, I believe it's more about the environment. It can be a little bit of genetics, but 99%, I believe it's the environment.
Maybe it's a trauma that the person lives in a life and makes a serial killer.
Yes, sometimes trauma it's like just a trigger, and the person become a serial killer. And the next question is: are there any case of serial killers who had well-adjusted childhoods? Danielle?
Um, I guess you didn't read the fourth question.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. So can you answer the question number 4, please?
Okay. Um, I believe definitely that they have to be responsible for their actions. Um, I believe if they are not, it might open some opportunities for other people to practice it, to commit crimes, and not being punished because they they have a childhood trauma or something in their brains. So I believe they have to be responsible. Um, but I don't know how exactly. I don't know if the prison is the best way or the uh, death is the best way either. I don't believe this. I believe there it has to be any other way to punish or to make them heal from this trauma or this sick or this ill. I don't know.
Yes, because imagine if every child who has suffered trauma decides to become a serial killer. Like almost the whole world.
Yeah, it's so easy. Everyone has a kind of childhood trauma. Some people have bigger issues, other people have little issues, but I don't think this should be uh, um, uh, anyway,
Like an excuse to kill.
a motive. Yeah.
Yeah. And you, Emily.
I believe the killers chose to do that, so they must be responsible for their actions, even though they suffer trauma or have been bullied in school of some kind of things. People, even if the person are not thinking straight, it must be responsible for their actions because it can cause consequences. You are taking someone's life.
Yes, that's right. And you, Ana Flavia.
It's very difficult to answer this question, but I think depends because we don't know uh, who is the serial killer. I think the people should study, maybe they study the person, understand what happened uh, with durante your life. I esqueci.
You can say during, like,
During her life, but it's very difficult to answer. But it's like
yeah,
Emily answered, always have consequence. So
yes. I got your point. And you, Felipe.
Yes, if the killers are the products of childhood trauma or underdeveloped brains, are they still responsible for their actions? I have to say yes, because it's not fair for the family. Yes, it has to be some kind of punishment. I still don't know what is the best way, but I believe that if a serial killer kills, right, if it was his decision, he made this decision to kill, because otherwise, all the kids that they have trauma or they suffer bullying would become potential killers. But it doesn't happen this way, right? This person can overcome their obstacles. This person can surrender, can become stronger, and doesn't need to kill. So I think that nobody has a reason to kill.
Yeah, so the next question is the number 5. Are there any cases of serial killers who had well adjusted childhoods? Danielle?
Um, I don't know if I properly understood the question, but I guess I did. And the guy in the video that you displayed, uh, he seemed like he had a well-adjusted childhood based on the comments of the neighbors, and it was everyone was so scared, and some people didn't even believe that he was capable to do that because his family was normal and he seemed to receive much love and have a well adjusted family. So, yeah, I believe there are cases, and it's even harder to explain why that person would do something like this.
Yes, and you, Camille?
I agree with Danielle. Um, I don't know many serial killers, but in the case of the video that we watched, we can say that yes, there are serial killers well adjusted.
Yes, there is also Ted Bundy. He had a good life and he was a serial killer in the United States. And you, Felipe?
Yes, as I said, yes, we never know. Yes, maybe because there are the psychopaths and the serial killers, right? I think psychopath, a person that is psycho, he's a person that destroy your feelings. So he destroy your emotions. This person just wanna destroy you in a different way, not killing you because he knows that he can be punished. So he destroys your emotions. And this is a way of serial killer, in my opinion, right? It's not physically speaking, but it's almost that. So, and I read that there are plenty of these people around. So this is like that's why, yeah. And as you said about Teddy Bundy, yeah, he had a nice. How can I say? He was well adjusted, right? Because he had a degree in psychology, and he was gonna become a politician. He was, and so and he had this. He I don't know what passes right through his head, right? We never know. That's why it's about personality sometimes. Because he liked to kill people. Yes, how can a person can have this? It's like an entertainment. It's like something that gives him pleasure. How can you this person and United States they have this death penalty, right, for this type of people because if it's for him it's a pleasure to kill people, so this person cannot be alive, right? Cannot be in a society. And that's a mistake. So there are people in this society that unfortunately we live in that they have this type of pleasure.
Yes, the question is why do they do this? Like it's crazy to understand. And
Yeah,
you,
we
Ana
never.
Flavia?
Yes. Why do they have pleasure? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know of any cases, but I believe that there are, uh, but I think there exist, and some have, some cases in Brazil happens some cases.
Yes, we have a few here too. And the next question, what about the female serial killers? Why there are more male than female serial killers? Emily, can you answer this one, please?
I believe I can't answer that question. I have no idea. I'm sorry.
And you, Daniel?
Yeah, it's so hard to say. I don't want to reproduce any common sense, but I guess there's a historical, uh, I don't know how to say it, but female women are historically subjected to men, and this uh, in implicates many stereotypes about women, like that women are weaker or women are, I don't know, fragile, and men are stronger than women, um, and that men have usually more violent stinkits. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, I believe there are many historical questions around this, and maybe based on these stereotypes, that's why we don't hear about female serial killers, but it's okay, it's nice, right? I don't believe women wants to be more represented in this ranking.
Yes, you brought up a good point, Daniel, because I was reading today to make this topic, and I read that in fact that is also this a stereotype, but women it's harder to be caught by policy because they act more, how can I say, slowly, like they don't like mutilate the bodies, it's more just like a quiet crime. We do this, but you guys don't know that we are very good serial killers. And you, Ana Flavia?
Oh, I have no idea. But we never think that the woman uh, is gonna to do something bad. What's wrong to think? But we always think that the man it's the bad and go to do something bad, like a serial killer. No, it's very difficult.
And you, Felipe?
Yes, as long as I know that, actually, I have to admit, I agree with you. Actually, there was a famous serial killer, a woman in the past, that she killed plenty of men and she used the money, right? So, and to kill more. Actually, there are, there are serial killers, women, there are women. There are. And especially, yes, you can find, if you search for that, you're going to find a huge list as well. But I think the society that they focus more on these crimes, like what happens is that there is all this story, right? There is all the literature about Jack the Ripper. And Jack the Ripper was in England, that was in the past. And after the Jack the Ripper, they started to see that it's very commercial. They can make a lot of money selling stories about serial killers. So, and now there are plenty of stories about serial killers.
Yes, it's not.
It's
It's
like it's similar. You remember
okay.
Dracula? Yeah, sorry, Dracula. I know I'm not
Yes.
comparing in a way that it's not. I know that they're two different things, But actually, there are a documentary about Ted Bundy. The people talk until nowadays about Ted Bundy. It's been 50 years, yes, that he died. So people are still watching things about Ted Bundy. Like, come on. And actually, it's that. I think it's. I just want to say that.
Okay, I got. So the next question is it true, as some have suggested, that serial killing is now on the declining, or it's just less reported in the media? What do you think, Emily?
I believe it can be declining because of the development of technology to find these people, like to see blood, to see DNA in crime scenes, the police investigation, like internet, we can chase everybody. So I believe it's becoming harder to be a serial killer. So yeah, you can be.
And you, Daniel?
Yeah, I totally agree. Uh, I I guess it's each time harder and harder to hide evidences, to hide the proofs of any crime that a person commits. There's always a surveillance camera. There's always someone recording with their phones actions that are uploaded in YouTube or any other social media. It's hard today to sneak by, to not be seen by someone or by some camera or other technology that can quickly identify you. That's why I believe crimes are in decline. This kind of crime is in decline. But on the other hand, internet also provides some the deep web, for example, that it's a kind of unknown world, dark world that many of us don't access or don't know. I don't know. Maybe there are some easy ways to hide these things, and we don't know. We don't even know because we don't look for this kind of thing.
I believe too. And you, Ana Flávia?
I agree, and it's more easy to find these people with all the technologies uh, that exist, and the people talk more about what happened too. So I agree with Camille and Daniel.
And you, Felipe?
Is it true, as some have suggested, the serial killer is now on the decline, or is just less reported in the media? As I hope so. Yes, I guess. But there's still, as Danielle said about deep web, and uh, there is a story of a man that he was posted videos killing cats, and then he said, "Catch me if you can," like that. So then it started all the police officers trying to locate, yes, to find this person who was killing cats. And this was terrible because he was recording videos, putting cats in the bag, putting cats with snakes. And so this guy was really schizophrenic. And actually they use all the technology, even though it takes some years to catch him. And he was like feeling Superman, because he was, for him was again, this was pleasure, you understand? He was having fun, escaping from the police. And nowadays there is a documentary about this person, understand? So he wanted, he always said, I want to be famous. And nowadays he became famous, you understand? That's what happened, And actually he's in prison, but actually he's in a rehab. So he's not in the normal prison. So, and probably, I don't know about the future, but maybe he was gonna be free again. But he killed cats. He killed, yes. For me, he should have a more serious punishment.
Yes, I saw The guy was crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and guys, what do you think about this glamorization about serial killers? Daniel?
I guess Philippe talked about something like this before. Today, uh, serial killers stories they sell. People like movies and TV shows and books about serial killers. I don't know exactly why, but they kind of become anti-hero. We kind of start to worship them or to um, uh, we kind of start to want them to win or to kill people now in these stories. I don't know exactly why this happens, but I believe that's why people don't recognize themselves in that situation, and or I don't know, today to be a badass is kind of something cool. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with this glamorization, but the fact is that these stories they generate much profit for companies and for storytellers.
Yes, and you, Kimberly.
I believe that, like we said, it is kind of difficult to be serial killers. You have to hide, you have to visualize all the situation and deal with, and it also makes a person dangerous. So we are afraid of these people. I believe that's making this glamour. I don't know.
Yes, it's crazy because we don't know them. They are like beside us. They are in our schools, in our neighborhood. It's really hard to think about it. And as Daniel said, people today are like, how can I say, liking serial killers. But even in the 60s, people were crazy because, for example, Teddy Bundy, he killed um, so many women. And the girls at that time was like, oh my God, he's so handsome. Like it was crazy. People are just crazy about this kind of people. Charlie Mason too, like people
Yes.
adore him. It's crazy.
Yeah. He got married in prison, right? So he got married. Teddy Bundy had a daughter, actually. So he had a daughter, so in prison. So just tell you guys how crazy the society is.
Yeah, and there is a movie on Netflix with Zac Efron. He was Teddy Bundy, and it tells the story about his, how can I say, his wife. And she was like hypnotized by him. Like she didn't know he killed people. She loved him. Like there was a serial killer inside her house with you know sleeping with him all night long. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's like that. It's like people like to have double life. Understand? Double life. To
Hmm.
have two life is the way they do.
And do you guys think we as society should discuss more about serial killers? What do you think, Emily?
The same way that there are campaigns from government about drugs, about some other problems, it should be discussed about serial just killing. It can be a psychological problem, not in disease, but a problem, psychological problem, and I believe it has to be discussed.
I agree with you. And you, Daniel?
Um, Not exactly. I don't believe we need to discuss about serial killers. I believe we need to discuss about gun control, for example, or other ways to prevent people or serial killers or whoever to access guns or other fatal weapons, um, and many other crimes. So I don't believe exactly we need to discuss serial killers, but how to prevent people commit fatal crimes or serial crimes.
Yes, it's a good point. Um, and you, Renata, how was the conversation in your room?
Yeah, what's super interesting. I learned a lot with Tammy about this topic. No, she's not a serial killer. Don't worry.
Thanks God.
But she knows a lot this subject, and it was very interesting.
That's great. So, Tammy, tell us about your experience.
I don't have an experience killing anyone, so just joking. I always enjoyed a lot reading about behavior, people behavior. So pretty much I started actually studying how people behave and why people behave a certain way. And one of the things I learned about serial killers is that they are born that way. And that's not something that you create. They are born towards being a sociopath, and the environment can worsen them up. So you might just be born being narcissistic, but if you were under, like, in an alcoholic family, your dad was beating your mom every day, you might go towards killing other people as a kind of pleasure, as a putting this out, or this kind of anger that you pretty much don't feel because you don't feel anything once you were born that way. So that's it. That's one thing I learned about studying about this, but I'm no psychologist. I'm just an enthusiastic about this subject.
Yeah, it's a great point. Like sometimes serial killers are more about controlling others. Sometimes they even don't want to kill. They just want to control the person. It's crazy. And you, Manu?
Oh, I saw that. I don't know anything about serial killers. I I couldn't answer a lot of questions because I didn't know nothing about serial killers. I don't know any serial killer in Rio de Janeiro, and what we are talking about Rio de Janeiro. So I don't know much about the topic, but it was very good to hear the Tammy considerations.
And you, Patricia?
Yes, I can say I learned a lot today about this topic with Tami and Manu and Renata. So interesting how the mind, the humans works, and yeah, so interesting the topic. And thank you, Nata.
All right. So I guess we have like potential serial killers here.
Why so? Why is that?
You know, Tammy has a lot of experience, knowledge about this.
I didn't get what you said because I couldn't hear it.
I said that we have potential serial killers here.
No, so that's one thing that you can never know. That's what I was talking to the ladies. It's just like any of us, we could just seem very friendly. And as soon as we hang up the Zoom call, we could be hiding someone underneath, like
Yes.
in a closet, or we could be just kind of like killing someone and then hiding them anywhere. So we never know. It's just you can't really tell who's a serial killer or not until they have done something and you kind of have all the things to incriminate them. But otherwise, you can't really tell because all the serial killers, everybody around them were like, "Oh my god, they were odd," but I did never think that they could kill someone. You know what I mean?
That's why you're using this background.
Yeah, because I'm trying to hide. I'm trying to the body that I've just killed. No, that's because it's from work, but this has the name of the company I work for, so I usually just take it off when I'm not on a working call. But yeah, there's no one killed in my bed. Background's my bed.
We don't know.
Yeah, that was great.
So,
I'll be very honest. I think the serial killers they don't know. They don't study about serial killers. They will study about how to kill people, but not the behavior of.
Yeah.
yes, probably. So, guys, it was very good the meeting tonight. I hope you guys enjoy it. And don't forget to answer the feedback, please. It helps us to improve TNT. And see you next time. Bye.
See
See
ya.
you. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you, Natalie.